Good evening. This side Rahul Magan here as a Group Chief Executive Officer, Treasury Consulting, and also a venture capitalist. As we speak, Treasury Consulting is a multinational headquartered group based out Singapore. And before I start today, I have a very good news, which is our OTT platform, over the top platform, successfully tested 8 minutes video, which means now we have the capability to upload 8 minutes video. Probably very soon we would be testing 9 minutes video, and our objective is to test 12 minutes video in 2022. But we are extremely glad that we started with 1 minute videos, and as we speak we are very close to 9 minutes video, and hopefully very soon we would have 12-minute videos. As a cash-rich organization and $0 backing from any venture capitalist and private equity firm, we are committed to challenge Amazon and Netflix in another couple of years. Of course, the journey is tough and no lot of criticism would come definitely, because trawlers never leave you alone. But who cares? We just move on. Simple. Today I downloaded these 2 papers from internet. This is my research. These 2 papers on the internet, and these 2 papers talking it about the Yes Bank. You know that when TikTok was live, I was talking about Yes Bank. Rather, I was talking about most of the stocks in India. But nowadays, I'm not talking about many stocks in India. The reason being, I don't think people have the right attitude to handle it. Because if you speak on 10 stocks and 8 fired, 2 do not fired for a while, people will only remember these 2 stocks. They forget the rest 8 stocks. Example, I made a video on LTI, which is Larsen & Toubro Technologies, basically the software arm of Larsen & Toubro Group. When I made the video, it was approximately 3,200 rupees, but it went double to 6,500 rupees. You can refer this video on the YouTube, and I was very clear that this stock would fire because fundamentally speaking, LTI holds the good balance sheet. And after the video, basically the analysis which we did, stock fired and it went to 6,500. But I hardly get a single point of appreciation. I'm not hungry for appreciation. But guys, if you give 10 stocks and 8 fired, 2 do not fire, the trawlers just talk about these 2 stocks. So I have stopped giving all stocks nowadays, because now we are a closed-end fund, no third party can invest, and the Indian business media talking a lot about the stocks, so that way. But Yes Bank is one of my, I don't say one of my favorite banks, but one of the financial institutions I track very closely in India. Of course, there are many other financial institutions to whom I track, but Yes Bank is someone to whom I track very, very closely. When in 2020, Yes Bank financial scandal happened, I awared people 2 years before then the financial scandal. Basically, when Yes Bank valuations were extremely expensive, and when I was looking at the balance sheet, I was like, what the hell these valuations are up to? Because again repeat that 99% of the investors in India do not know how to study the bank balance sheet. Since we do not know how to study the bank balance sheet, we are easily carried away by our media. And of course, I am continuously making the videos in that regards. Today also, there are 2 or 3 private and public sector banks we have in India. I myself is not comfortable with their balance sheets. Basically, when I say balance sheets, I refer to the strength of the balance sheet. I myself is not comfortable. And I believe that in another 2 to 3 years, approximately 2 or 3 Indian banks will either collapse or there would be a consolidation wave, without quoting any names. Because you know that what the statement is made up by one of the bank's CEO very recently, and one Indian private sector bank asset quality. Rather, I would say if I speak about the private sector banks in India, then except 1 or 2 private sector banks, majority have issues in the asset quality. But thanks to the Indian regulatory framework, thanks to the Reserve Bank of India, thanks to the Securities and Exchange Board of India, thanks to the, I would say, Institute of Chartered Accountant of India, the ECL framework, which is known as Expected Credit Losses framework, will never happen in India. On the contrary, American banks like JP Morgan, Citi, your Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs, HSBC, and not to mention the rest name, they all have ECL framework. ECL stands Expected Credit Losses. Today, the international banking is on ECL, which is a very right way of, doing the credit loss provisioning. Like, if you look at the recent quarterly result posted by JP Morgan Chase, which is there on their website, you can refer that. They have mentioned about the credit impairments. But in Indian books, specifically talking Indian banks balance sheet, credit impairment is an alien word. Rather, 99% of the investors haven't heard about a concept called credit impairment. And end result, we are easily carried away by the paid, sold and corrupt media. If I go with Yes Bank, then it's a good news, which is Yes Bank closed financial year 22 with 1066 crores of net profit. So financial year 22 is closed at 1066 crores of net profit, which is a very healthy news. Of course, this profit is comparatively very less as compared to HDFC, as compared to ICICI, as compared to Axis. But Yes Bank 2 years ago was almost nowhere. And data speaks, like the private sector lender had posted a net loss of 3,462 crores, near about 3,500 crores in financial year 21. And if I speak about financial year 20, then 22,715 crores, near about 22,800 crores. So statistically speaking, financial year 20 is 22,800 crores of loss. Financial year 21 is near about 3,500 crores of loss. But financial year 22 turns out to be a very good year for Yes Bank, because they got a profit of near about 1066 crores, which to me is a healthy profit in such a volatile environment, number one. Number two, the background from where Yes Bank is coming, and number three, the change in the leadership of the Yes Bank. So I would like to congratulate Yes Bank for giving such, I would say, a wonderful result in financial year 22. And the biggest beauty is that the total income, for financial total income for this quarter, January to March, is near about 5,830 crores. And if I compare this with the September quarter, same quarter of last year, it was 4,700 crores, which means total income means the total income of the bank is growing, which is also a very, very healthy signal. Yes Bank said it witnessed strong growth in deposit and granular advances during the year, and sanctions and disbursement stood at 70,000 crores as of financial year 22, which means the total sanctions and disbursement stood at around 70,000 crores. The net non-performing asset came down to 4.5% as compared to 5.9%. So these, statistically speaking, these all are very, very healthy numbers. But there is a concern. The concern is Russia-Ukraine war is on the head. Even today, which is Saturday, according to Google, Russia attacked one of the cities of Ukraine, which is, I would say, very, very, from a defense standpoint, very, very important city of Ukraine. And they simply damaged the runway of the airport. Now, if there is no runway, airport is good for nothing, because you cannot take up the plane, you cannot land the plane. Airport is good for nothing. Russia also continuously attacking on Kyiv, which is the capital. And unfortunately, United Nations and multiple countries failed to resolve this problem. And Russia-Ukraine war also exposed these bilateral groups, just like NATO, just like United Nations Security Council and all these. United Nations Security Council is completely failed in this war, so as the NATO. And the firepower of United States and European nations is very, very limited. Now, why I am raising this point? I am raising this point because this war is unrelented as we speak. That's a separate thing that, I'm always on Bloomberg and multiple channels which I'm watching, they have stopped giving the appropriate information about this war. God forbid, and unfortunately the probability is on the higher side, if Russia got Ukraine, then we may have more European cities on the cards. Time would tell. And Ukraine President Zelensky, he also, foresaw this, and in the public, he told that if Ukraine falls, then more European nations on the cards. If this turn out to be an eventuality, then we may see a global panic in the financial market. I repeat, global panic, not the Indian panic. Foreign institutional investors are already quitting India. According to the statistics, 6 months to March 2022, the institutional investors quitted 1,50,000 crores. Maybe tomorrow I will compute the number for April also. But in April also, institutional investors are net sellers, then net buyers. It means that institutional investors are quitting at a much faster pace. And if this trend would continue, plus the impact of the war, then we may see a substantial, I would repeat, substantial non-performing assets in the books of Indian banks. And I'm not quoting any specific names in that regards, whether it would be in the books of X bank or the Y bank. A substantial wave of non-performing asset would come in the books of Indian banks. And I doubt, to be honest, any Indian bank would spare from this non-performing asset wave. Keeping this as a background, Yes Bank is having a long way to go because your profitability is nowhere closer to the big boys like ICICI, HDFC and all. But yes, to be acknowledged, you did a very wonderful job as compared to financial year 20 when you reported near about 22,800 crores worth of loss. That we need to appreciate and acknowledge. As a bank, you also owned a huge non-performing asset, which Yes Bank need to resolve. So if I look as a bird eye view, then Yes Bank doing wonderful operationally, let it be honest, but a long way to go. Please do not treat this video as a buying call for Yes Bank. I repeat, please do not treat this video as a buying call for Yes Bank, because nowhere I told to anyone that you please buy the Yes Bank. So if after watching this video, if you are buying the Yes Bank, that is completely your call. I'm not telling anyone to buy the Yes Bank, because I now understood the Indian media, the Indian investor. So if today you buy Yes Bank at 13 rupees, assuming, and it will go to 100 rupees, you will never appreciate. But God forbid, if this 13 rupees come down to 10 rupees, you start messaging me. I again repeat, this is not a buy call for a Yes Bank. I just shared my opinion. Yes Bank having a long way to go, but at least I'm very happy that the management is moving in the right direction. But yes, there are many issues which Yes Bank needs to answer, probably in short term, probably in the medium term, probably, the war. This is Rahul Magan from Treasury Consulting Group. You knew my personal number 9899242978, 9899242978. I once again congratulate Yes Bank. Good job, guys. But keep moving on. A long way to go. Don't be complacent, because the past is not very good. But to make future as a very bright future, we really need to work hard. Once again, congratulate. This is Rahul Magan from Treasury Consulting Group. Have a great time ahead. Thank you.